Okay, here we are. Rachel, will the Democrats be able to take back the Senate in 2020? What's your prediction on that, the Senate? Because if we don't get the Senate, then it's all kind of moot.
So now that the socialist prospect has been vanquished and the party will not be running against itself, which is a really critical element, yes, the Colorado and Maine are definitely flipping, as will Arizona. So the question is...
Wait, which ones are flipping?
Colorado, Maine, and Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah, so when my forecast for the House and the Senate come out, we'll be talking about at least 6 House seats in addition to the ones they gained in 2018. But that's because they didn't understand in this new environment where to spend money. It's in these realigning suburbs, which are, by the way, realigning because of the millennial generation who are now 40. They're balding. They own houses.
Right.
They're not college kids. And they were sitting on their ass not voting before, but now they're freaked out, okay? And so when we look at the suburban revolution, it's not Republican women singing Kumbaya and having, like, buyer's remorse. In fact, if you look at my analyses, which I really urge you guys to do, anyone who's hearing this, please do, you're going to see Republicans are stoked on Donald Trump. They love what this man is doing. They're not disaffected. They showed up. They increased their turnout in 2018. And Democrats are actually flipping seats because of independents and Democrats who are changing the composition of the electorate. They're making it less white, younger, more female, and better educated, and that's what's saving America.
Okay, Brian, as someone raised with Britain's National Health Service, why do you think some Americans are so hesitant to embrace Medicare for all?
I have no idea. I think that's stupid. I mean, I think that, you know, the National Health Service is phenomenal. You know, and each government tries to screw it up by appalling middle management, and it's the middle management that's done the job, not the people on the ground, not the nurses, not the doctors, but the management that's been shit. And
but now doctors in England are paid a salary, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's going to be a tough sell in America.
Well, of course, everything's a tough sell here.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. I'm just.
So what's new?
Right. No, but
I mean, and the idea of a National Health Service, you know, it was started by Clem Attlee and Aaron Bevan, 2 great politicians. Attlee probably being the greatest prime minister I think we ever had. And
he was right after Churchill?
He was right after Churchill. He managed the country while Churchill was doing the war. That was the interesting thing about him. And he was very quiet man. But anyway, I think that the National Health Service is you know, they try to destroy it. They'll try and sell it. They'll try to do everything, particularly the Tories. But it still goes on. Okay. And it's great.
Ross, is the coronavirus the kind of event that could force us out of our state of decadence, which, of course, is the subject of your book?
That's a terrific question. Thank you, Mom. I mean, it's a little weird because I'm out promoting this book about how we're stuck in these loops of, you know, decaying institutions and stalemated politics and the same Star Wars movies over and over again. And I'm doing this while the coronavirus is basically sweeping through and putting it all to the torch. So, yeah, I can say definitively, you know, pandemics are not decadent. They're really bad, but they're definitely not decadent. But it is a test for, I mean, what I was talking about earlier, basically the institutional failure at every level that we've had in response to it, that is decadence. Yeah. That's what decadence looks like. And you know, I mean, more than you, I think it's going to be worse than the flu, I think.
What's going to be worse than the flu? The coronavirus? It could be. What are you basing that on?
You know, Italy, mostly, Iran, even South Korea, the best containment we've got, has a fatality rate of 0.6, and the flu is 0.1. So that's for every person you said dies of the flu every year, which is too many. You could have 6 people dead, which is hundreds of thousands of people. So
I think there's a debate about that. I don't think you're.
Well, that's the low end. That's the low end. I mean, the WHO
read today that
the high end.
It's the people most to worry about this, of course, are over 80 and over. And even among 80 It's 1 out of 6. What?
Really?
Yeah.
Go on.
Now,
So spin this out a little bit.
if I was 80 and I still had 6-to-1 odds to live through this thing,
Go to the casino on that.
I mean, it's not the worst when you're 80.
No.
I mean, we have death. You know, part of decadence, I think, is that people. You're right. It's always about victim of your own success. I mean, you think of the French, kings in the time of Louis XIV. I mean, everything was just so effete and nothing. They couldn't stand any sort of pain. They sat on thousands of pillows. That's where we are now.
Yeah.
People sitting
Absolutely
on thousands of pillows.
Absolutely right.
But pandemics are,
Yes.
pandemics are worse than that.
They are, but it's not the Black
You can't
Plague.
root. Yeah, that's
I'm not
true.
rooting for it. I'm not. Let me be clear. I am against the coronavirus. Let me say I have always been against the coronavirus, and I always check my record. Stop lying about my record, Ross Douthat.
Also on the campaign list
Oh,
of don't
Jesus
do. Yeah. But yeah.
Okay.
Well, what does the coronavirus do to the campaign, though? How do you put that into a model?
Trump is so screwed, right? Because it's going to totally fuck the economy.
Everybody says
And it's
that.
the
Everything
only
that
thing
happens, and he's never
I know.
screwed.
Oh, no. He is definitely
Never.
not helped by
No,
this. And you can see that in his total
I
panic.
think this-
His total panic. Yeah. The one thing that he
Right.
had
His
is
mouth
that
took $2 trillion
decadence,
out of
right?
the stock.
He had all of these rich people who were able to say, well, I've got my conservative judges who will one day redefine American citizenship so our minority population can hold on to power. And I have money, right, from the stock market. Well, my parents are living off of retirement funds. They lost like 40% of their stock.
You said his
money
mouth lost $2 trillion?
100%.
Just what he said.
100%. That
More
first press
above what it
conference-
would have been.
Okay, look, I'm a clear-eyed money manager running 11
Yes,
million
you
dollars.
are.
I watch
You
that-
like money.
I
Right.
do. I watch
And you
that
have
guy-
a lot of it.
I watched that guy's press conference.
Yes.
Forget my politics or
Right.
anything else. I said, okay, the market is going to sell off on this because
Sure.
it's science. You want to say that the Trump Tower condominium is 10,000 square feet when it's 1,000? No problem, okay?
Right.
You can't lie about the science, okay? You can't. You got to hit the science right in the bullseye.
yeah.
That cost, and then he opened his mouth on Sean Hannity's show,
All right.
Right.
and that cost another $1 trillion.
I mean, they
He
canceled
called it the
South
Corona
by
flu.
Southwest. I mean, that's a huge. I mean, this is going to have
Well,
an
that's an
impact.
upside, though.
It's
I mean, surely we
gonna
can
be a
all
silver
agree. There's got to be a silver
So
lining.
here, in my research, like economy, right? People argue, oh, Trump's in this great position because the economy is strong. Bullshit, right? In the old days, the economy mattered. So Carvel was right one time, but not anymore, right? But a bad economy on a guy that everyone hates. Just
Well, not
ask Jimmy
everyone.
Carter how that went for him.
Not everyone. Not everyone in America hates.
Well,
That's a little bubblicious.
It's about 40. It's about 43%, and he's going to get about
Okay.
47%. So the question will be: can the Trump team make enough not Trump voters stupid enough to
look.
vote against their own interest?
Okay.
Right.
Certainly, you've made my point. Not everyone. What are your thoughts, panel, on Bill Clinton saying in the new documentary, I guess this came out today, that his affair with Monica Lewinsky was a way of, quote, managing my anxieties?
I'm going to let you take that one, Kate.
This is addressed to you, but I put it to the whole
Lucky
panel.
you.
I don't know why you
You
did.
know, it's obviously, I assume it's taken out of context. It did seem to address his anxieties. He did very well, I know, as a president during that period. And, sounds right to me.
I think.
I mean, sex does.
I think it's indisputable.
Yeah.
I think it really is indisputable. I think it
Staying out of
really
the
does help your anxiety.
Yeah.
should call Dr. Ruth. Right.
He's back to the
that kind of
Bloomberg
doctor.
blowjob terminal.
But just, yes, go ahead.
No, but I just think they would be better served as Democrats to stay out of the way right now. Why surface that and bring up the fact that he was impeached and all that other stuff? It just colors badly.
The Clintons
Democrats.
never miss an opportunity.
Never.
Miss an
It's
opportunity
an unnecessary
to
speed bump.
Right.
For the Democrats.
But I just got to
No
say
strategy.
now.
and
but
then
to
also you have
say,
the symmetry of him getting impeached and plus the
Yes.
can I, for 1 second, channel Monica Lewinsky? And I don't
Please.
think Monica likes me very much. I may have done a few jokes in the past.
Just a couple.
I tried to when she came out a few years ago in Vanity Fair and wrote that. I tried to defend her, and then I saw her, and she was like, "Your defense was not good enough, or it was the wrong kind of defense." I was like, "Oh."
You're dead to her.
Yeah, but I just got to say, the blindness of a man saying that I had this affair with this person, it was to manage my anxieties. How does that make her feel? It's just like a terrible thing to say. It reminds me of when people are with like their second wife,
Right.
and they just go on, this is the love of my life, and I didn't live before I met her. What is the first wife?
Right.
How does she feel when she hears this? It's just they do this all the time.
And the Clintons are very blind to. They have a callousness to
They
them,
really
both
do.
of them
This to me was very callous. It's like, manage my anxieties. Really? There was not a human being there?
Especially after she's revealed that she was in love with him and she's really opened up about what she felt about it, and then.
And there was more than just managing my anxiety, as I recall that.
Yes.
He bought her that book of poetry. Remember that?
Walt Whitman.
It was like, and there was
Lisa
that tape where he
Bass.
was like, "Good morning," because he got a blowjob that day, and he was. It's a little more than that. All right,
But
thank
he
you.
has to come on to Hillary every night.
Right.
So I guess.
Yes, you're right. That's the very good point.